Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are all doing well. I'm not doing well right now, and that's because Manchester United have been beaten 2-0 by Tottenham Hotspur in our second league game. We have already suffered a defeat in the league. Proper disappointing. And I can't lie, man. I'm gutted with that one because in the first half, Manchester United should have had a penalty. We had two clear-cut headers from Marcus Rashford and Bruno Fernandes that we should have scored. We played, I thought, very good football in that first half. But in the second half, you know, we go in at 0-0. We don't really turn up. We allow Tottenham to get into the game. And they score a goal. And when it went 1-0 Tottenham, we never ever really looked like getting back into the game. All right, Anthony hit the post. All right, we had a few moments. All right, Pellistri maybe could have won a penalty for us when it was 2-0. But I never really felt like Manchester United were going to score in that second half. And I can't lie, Spurs didn't play that well today at all. We didn't make Spurs play well at all today. And that's what disappoints me the most. Manchester United just felt... And this is a new season. What kind of performance was that? This is a brand new season. Second game of the season. We go away from home. Our away form was abysmal last season. And we put in a performance like that. It's so poor. And look, after the first game against Wolves, I thought it was a poor performance, but we got the win. The win was the most important thing. Make sure you get that result. Make sure you get the win. And move on to the next game. Let's see what can happen. You know, we got 90 more minutes under our legs. And today in the first half, when we performed like that, I thought, okay, this looks a little bit better. There was a lot more movement off the ball. We were finding the runs. We were getting into space. We were creating chances. You know, you look at the Rabona from Bruno Fernandes for Marcus Rashford. You've got to score that opportunity. Again, one goes on to Bruno Fernandes. He said, you've got to score. You've got to score. And then there were other moments where we're getting into the right areas, but the final pass is just off. Or we're overrunning. Like, you've got to be better. You've got to be more clear-cut, especially in these games away from home. Take your chances. Now, you can see why we went out and splashed 60-odd million plus add-ons on Rasmus Højlund. You can see why we were linked with strikers, and we clearly need one. We need a striker so we can put Marcus Rashford back in his strongest position out on the left as well, because he's not quite doing it through the middle. But, you know, you've got to do better with the chances we had, and the players that are out there have got to perform better, because we had enough out there today. I'm not putting that down to the fact that we didn't have a striker starting for us. You know, I'm not putting that down to that at all. Anthony, you've got to be better. You've got to be better. He's just so passive. Get aggressive. Run at someone. Do something. Just letting things pass you by. There's opportunities where you can get at defenders, get into space, and you kind of just roll the ball under your foot and look up and allow people to jog back into position. Same on the left-hand side. I thought Garnacho was better than he was against Wolves today. But you've got to do a little bit more. And look, Garnacho's a young player. And we know about his potential. We know how good he can be. But if you want to start games week in, week out for Manchester United, we've seen his brother tweeting weird things and that he needs to shut up. If you want to start week in, week out, that's the pressure. You've got to perform week in, week out. It's easier when you're coming off the bench and you're playing against tired legs and all those kind of things. Garnacho has to learn what it's like to play week in, week out for Manchester United. But like I said, I thought in the first half we were a little bit better. I genuinely did. I thought we were better than we were against Wolves, creating those chances. I thought Mason Mount's energy looked good. Bruno Fernandes was popping up all over the place and trying to make things happen. There was a few moments where he could have been a little bit better. Like I said, with that finish, you've got to take that chance. You've got to get it on goal. He had so much space, he couldn't even brought it down and tapped it in. Have to put them ones away. And then when you let those opportunities pass you by, we should have had a penalty in the first half as well, by the way. When you let those opportunities pass you by, you're giving the home crowd a chance to get into it. They start getting more confidence. Their players get into it. They go in at half-time thinking, right, we've been poor. We can't be worse than that. Second half is our half. And that's exactly what happened. Spurs were better in the first half, in the second half. Manchester United never really reacted to the performance of Spurs. We go behind. We never looked like getting that goal. Real disappointing game, man. Real disappointment. And our next away game is Arsenal. And if we play like that, we'll get battered. Because Arsenal are at a different position than Spurs at the moment in terms of their evolution, in terms of how they're playing football. United need to get at it. Maybe in pre-season we didn't get our first 11 together enough. And that's had an impact because we're kind of seeing few leggy performances out there. Maybe some people trying to find their full fitness still, but you've got to be better than that, and you've got to expect a little bit more at the start of the season. Start as you mean to go on, and that's not Manchester United. That's not the performance we've come to expect even off Ten Hag's Manchester United. Has to be a lot better. That second half performance, we had just allowed Spurs to grow into the game. We allowed Spurs to get better, and as a result, we lost the game. And I'm real disappointed with that one, especially coming up against a Spurs team with a new manager, you know, in front of the crowd for the first time with their new manager. We had an opportunity to put pressure on them today. And we failed to do so. And I'm absolutely disappointed. I'm proper gutted with that. Look, I'm seeing some knee-jerk reactions on social media and some people panicking and all those kind of things. And, you know, we've seen what can happen in your first 2 games last season and how things can be turned around. And look, we've made a poor start to the season. This season, clearly, the performance against Wolves wasn't good enough, despite the fact we got the result. You know, that today wasn't good enough. And look, we got Forest next at home. Can't be turning up just thinking we'll beat them. We have to be at it. But I do think maybe not getting our first 11 together enough in pre-seasons come back to haunt us, because we're looking so unfit out there. So unfit. Just proper unfit. From back to front in terms of the players, thought Onana was very good today with some of the passes that he had out from the back, and you know, some of the things that we've seen from Onana were very good. I don't think he was at fault for any of the goals either. Made some good saves as well in there. I think Luke Shaw had some better moments, but we need to see more from Luke Shaw. Aaron Wan-Bissaka today, not good enough. I thought Varane was probably our best player again, and I think Varane has looked good in his first 2 games, but not enough. You know, Lisandro Martinez, that second goal, it's rolling wide, I think, and he kind of puts it in. You got to have a little bit more awareness, maybe a little bit more communication with your goalkeeper. And once it goes 2-0, there was no way back. For us at 1-0, you never know what could happen. You know what I mean? But we just allowed Spurs back. Oh, man. So annoying at the start of the season, man. You get the season started. You know, you make some business, bring a new goalkeeper and bring a new midfielder in. Look, I think there's a lot more to come from Mount, and we haven't seen enough from him yet. But you just think, all right, come on, get them settled in early. Let's go for it early on. Hit the ground running. But no, we don't do that. It's real odd performances from Man United at the moment. And then you look at what's going on off the pitch with the club and the way they're handling this Greenwood thing. Everything just feels like a shambles at the moment, and we just need to calm things down. Beat Nottingham Forest, get a result there. Hopefully do something against Arsenal. But if we play like this, we're not going to get many results, especially in that second half. The performance wasn't good enough. Real disappointing. Anyway, I'm going to head off now because we're going live for the club for Manchester United losing their second game of the season. Not the start we wanted. Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you in a